What's up, chat? Welcome back to yet another edition of the Rob Star Report. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Um, I just got absolutely devouring some wings, and I'm pretty sure I got some sauce right there. Pretty sure I got some sauce right there. TGIF, thank God it's Friday. We've got our thank God it's Friday week 15 preview for the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. I mean, man. Can we just talk about last night one more time? Can we just talk about last night one more time? I mean, the Atlanta Falcons did us a favor, man. Troll Cat 2K1, keep pounding Clay, sending love from the 910. Appreciate you, Troll Cat. Appreciate you coming through. And shout out to you, keep pounding my brother. Looking forward after last night. Absolutely, Roy. Absolutely, Roy. Can we just, did us a solid for sure. Oh, they definitely did us a solid for sure. They definitely did us a solid for sure. Can't be mad about that. Old school, old school Panthers fan, keep pounding, my friend. It's kind of surreal. You know what I mean? Like, chat, I'm being dead serious when I say it. It's kind of surreal because here's a few reasons why. When's the last time we could sit here and say, that we are gonna, we have a chance to win the NFC South. We haven't seen that really, the chance to win the NFC South. We haven't really seen that since, of course, since Steve Wilkes, but we haven't made the playoffs since 2017. We haven't won the NFC South since 2015. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy to just see where we're at. We on top, Clay. Gotta love it. Absolutely. I mean, I can't say I'm not. But see, here's the thing, chat. I'm trying to keep myself level-headed. You know what I mean? I don't want to I really don't want to go overboard and then get my hopes up. You know what I mean? I know that we're excited, but again, the job's not done. We still have to beat the Saints, who beat us at home, who could definitely spoil the pot for us. And again, I don't think we cannot take this Saints team lightly, right? We cannot take this Saints team lightly. That's number one. I mean, you just can't. We cannot take this Saints team lightly, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get our lick back. We won't get swept. We'll dive more into that. I mean, I'm going to give you my honest review on that, so don't worry. You're in the right place if you want full-blown honesty and bluntness sometimes, and just keeping it real. If that's your if that is your thing and you love that, if that's the type of stuff you like, well, you're in the right place. But again, you cannot take this Saints team lightly. Again, this is a small victory, and it's only like a 72-hour, Thursday? So Thursday, so we got today, tomorrow. So yeah, no, 48-hour victory. We got today to celebrate the win last night for the Falcons, celebrating for the fact that the Falcons beat them, right? Because it helps us out. But, it's only 48 hours. And then, you're back, on Sunday playing this team. Last time we were in the playoffs, I was a freshman in high school. I just want a win against Tampa. I'll be Super Bowl. That'll be my Super Bowl, considering we haven't beaten them since Brady was quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Troll Cat comes in and says, well, again, I'm going to just say this. What credit where credit's due. Again, we're back on top for the first time in a damn decade. We didn't even have to take the field. I mean, we're basically 2-0 off the bye. We're 2-0 off the bye. Shout out to Garage Beer, by the way. They're not a sponsor of this channel, but if they want to be, shout out to them. Great beer. But on paper, I mean, here's the thing. One of the key steps outlined in this whole playoff guide was simple in theory, right? It felt like a long shot reality. I mean, the Saints beat them last week. Then the Falcons needed to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And again, last night, I was about to turn that stream off, chat. I was about to turn that stream off when it was like 28-14. I'm not going to lie. I was about to turn that stream off when it was 28-14. Right? But here's the thing. On paper, that didn't look promising, the Falcons beating the Bucs. All right. I picked the Falcons to win the game, but Tampa Bay was finally healthy on offense. Atlanta had just been eliminated from playoff contention. The motivation was supposed to be questionable at best. Yep. Football is one of those sports, though, chat. It's like, I feel like it's a stupid sport, but it's also a beautiful sport. You know what I mean? Like, again, this Falcons team beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they are the most penalized. Here's the thing. What happened last night? The Falcons made NFL history, chat. For the first time ever, a team that got penalized the most won the game. And I think it was also like it's a crazy stat. And here it is. Atlanta Falcons are the first team in NFL history to win a game where they had at least 14 more penalties than their opponent and faced a deficit of at least 14 points. They were down 14 points and came back and won the game. I mean, I was ready to end that stream when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers went up. What up, Marcos? What's up, the one and only Ken88? Appreciate you in the chat, man. Appreciate you guys. It's crazy, man. And another thing is too, it's like they pulled it off. The Falcons win the game 29-28. When they went off a last-second field goal of courtesy of our old friend Zane Gonzalez, right? And just like that, the NFC South standings, flipped on our heads, right? We're the result of 7-6. Now we're sitting alone at first place in the division, right? Alone in first place. It's been 10 years since that sentence made any sense to us. But here's the thing I want to say about the Falcons. Falcons did everything possible to lose that game and still won. You know what I mean? Like, that's what makes this even funnier and it's also kind of even more encouraging for us because it's the reason why I say that is because it's how Atlanta won this game, Jack. The Falcons committed a franchise record. I'm going to read this stat off to you. They committed a franchise record of penalties of 19 penalties for 125 yards. Most of them came from the offense. And that is not a typo. 19 flags against a Buccaneers team that was supposed to be getting its act together. And despite all of that, despite shooting themselves in the foot over and over again, they still managed to beat Tampa Bay at home. That was in Florida. It should. It's crazy to think about that. And then another thing, The Buccaneers didn't just lose. They are a vulnerable team. They are a sloppy, inconsistent, very beatable team, right? Now they've dropped that. Now they've dropped from the division leaders to second place in a matter of minutes. But again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hold off on the optimism just for a second because the job isn't finished here in Carolina. Because Sunday matters so much. We still have the work to do. We have to beat the New Orleans Saints on Sunday to hold on to that first place. And that's Sunday's problem, though. But tonight, and all you Panthers fans, I'll say this: I think you're all allowed to soak this in, at least tonight and tomorrow until Sunday. Because again, for the first time in 10 years, Carolina controls the division. The path is real, and the standings reflect actual progress of this football team. And I think the NFL.com, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure I saw it earlier. Yeah. Well, NFL.com, but even ESPN there. There you go. I think this is off of NFL.com. We're the number 4 seed. We're the number 4 seed. We are hosting a playoff game. Here's the crazy part. We would be hosting a playoff game if the season ended today. That's a pipe dream. It's not a pipe dream anymore, chat. It's a reality, at least for now. And of course, the disrespect still lives because this is the Carolina Panthers. The national disrespect couldn't help itself. Right? Despite sitting in first in the NFC South, Carolina is still being given only a 47% chance, based off of the stats I'm seeing here, to make the playoffs. So the Buccaneers now are in second place. Somehow they still have them at 53% to win the South. So sure thing, makes total sense, right? Apparently being in first place doesn't matter as much as vibes and preseason expectations. But we know the drill as fans. We know the drill. Again, all I'm going to say about this right now is my final thought. Enjoy this. You've earned it. Like we've earned it as fans. Okay. This season has been messy, inconsistent. It's been frustrating at times, but it's also been so much full of resilient, surprising, and for the first time in a long time, meaningful. This team didn't back into this, the Panthers didn't back into this position. They earned it by beating good teams, surviving chaos, staying alive long enough for moments like this to matter. Now they have to finish the job. But for one night, thanks to the Atlanta Falcons, we'll take it from here. We'll take it from here. That's all I got to say about that. Now, let's dive into our week 15 preview. I just wanted to get that off my chest for a minute. All right, let's go into the injury report. So, injury report I know for sure they've got I know for sure that Alvin Kamara is out. They did announce that today. We do know that they're officially out. They did announce him officially out today. But let's talk about the Carolina Panthers real quick because their injury report, um, again, this has been some good news this week throughout the week heading into this one of the most important games of the season against the Saints. Cannot take the Saints lightly. I do believe that. But for the second straight day, you come out Friday's injury report, comes back clean as hell. Perfect attendance, no setbacks, no surprise downgrades. Every player listed in early in the week was a full participant in practice, and enters this weekend without an injury designation, right? And that's huge against the New Orleans Saints, right? Considering what is at stake in this game. You know what I mean, chat? So, again, huge. Jaycee Horn is back. That matters a lot. The headline, obviously, is going to be Jaycee Horn coming out of this injury report. Was limited on Wednesday, full participant Thursday, full participant Friday. All signs are now pointing to him being fully cleared and ready to go in New Orleans. And he progressed exactly the way you wanted to see. So, Jaycee Horn has been playing his best football of his career this season, in my opinion. Definitely need to go. Y'all need to go out. I've got to get my votes in too, but definitely one of the leading voters or vote getters among all cornerbacks for that Pro Bowl game. Again, through 12 games, he's already set a career high with 5 interceptions. So he's an anchor on this secondary. He's a leader on this secondary. And he has become, again, what we've all been waiting for, and him being healthy and staying healthy besides this concussion. Again, it's just a concussion. And he was only out one game. Luckily enough, it came back at the bye. But this is a massive boost for this defense. Again, we also get another boost from Cade Mays. Let's get the offensive line. Good news doesn't stop from the defense. You got your starting center back in Cade Mays. He's expected to return after missing 2 weeks with that ankle injury. Again, was full participant all week. Should slide right back into that usual role on Sunday, in my opinion. That also creates some positive though, chat. Like, you got a nice positive domino effect up front with Corbett, who should fill in admirably at center, who filled in admirably at center when he played the Rams, but he'll likely shift over to right guard, given Carolina is preferred right now interior offensive line. Right now, especially with how many combinations we've gone through. I think it's been 10. And especially at a crucial point this season. Again, good news for we've been waiting on the Robert Hunt news. The latest news we've got is he's on track to come back. He could come back as early as next week against Tampa, from what I've heard. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if my source is absolutely correct, but from my source, I've told that he could come back next week against Tampa. That's what I was told from my source. So I don't know. So injury reports looking good, man. Again, other key pieces fully cleared, especially for this defense. We also get some reinforcements across the board. Claude and Churlis, fully cleared coming off that concussion. Claude and Churlis is I think he's a very underrated player, man. He was all over the field in that 49ers game. And I thought he stepped in nicely for Roseboom. And Roseboom's fully cleared. Now he's coming back. Lathan Ransom's fully cleared. So Roseboom's return is especially important to me, in my opinion, because it allows this team to really field their preferred linebacker group, which, Trevor Wallace is back. So you get that group back together again, something they haven't been able to do consistently in recent weeks. But Ransom coming off his best performance of the season, and with Tre'von Moehrig already back from suspension, you've got some solid depth shaping up in that safety room. But again, this is, the Panthers aren't limping into New Orleans. That's one good thing, right? So we're walking into New Orleans with nearly full firepower besides Robert Hunt, right? You have momentum still off that huge win. You got momentum because the Saints beat the Buccaneers last week. Then the Falcons beat them this week. You have a legitimate shot to keep the playoff push alive, chat. So at this point, there are no health-related excuses left. I mean, this roster is ready. The lineup is intact. The opportunity is right in front of him. We just need to go to New Orleans and take advantage. All right. Oh, you're talking about Mike Evans, Panthers guy. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I greatly appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys coming through again. Make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it as you guys come on in. Now, here's the thing. We're going to talk about the offense. We're going to start off with the offense tonight. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up something. Now, here's the thing, chat. Again, high vibes, I think, for this team have been a problem all year, right? We've seen this movie before, right, where this team all year, we've seen this movie before. Carolina gets a big win. That momentum starts to build. The optimism creeps in. Okay. What's up, Trey? We see it. Okay. We see it. Again, this is why I want to hold off my optimism. Because when optimism creeps in, the bottom falls out, right? So for example, we stunned the Packers in Lambeau. They come home and got embarrassed by the Saints. They beat the Falcons while Bryce Young set a franchise record. They followed it up with a brutal Monday Night Football disaster, right? The offense in that 49ers game still pisses me off because the offense wasted multiple defensive gifts. But then they go out and they upset the Rams. So the vibes can't be any higher than they've been all season, especially with the fact of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers dropping back-to-back games. So again, is this the final turning point or just another peak from a painful crash? That has to be answered this Sunday against the Saints. Now, the Saints aren't good, but here's the thing about the Saints. They are annoyingly competent right now. That is what type of team they are. They are just annoyingly competent. Like, New Orleans isn't rolling over. They're far from it. Over the last 4 games, they are 2-2 in that stretch. They beat us. They nearly tying the Dolphins late. Then upsets the Buccaneers in sloppy conditions. Right? Defensively, they've been quietly solid, allowing just 18 points per game during that span. What's even more concerning is none of those 4 opponents cracked 200 passing yards. That includes Carolina, who managed an absolute pathetic 102 passing yards and 7 total points back in early November. So, yeah, the Saints know how to make life miserable for this offense here, okay? What Carolina has to do differently this time is this. So my first key to this game is Bryce Young. What I mean by that is this. Prove again, continue to prove you could beat them through the air early. The message was clear last time the Saints played us. What they did is they stacked the box and they dared us to Bryce Young to beat us with his arm. They stacked the box, clawed Rico Daddle's rushing lanes, and trusted their corners to survive on islands. Dave Canales responded by stubbornly trying to force the run game away, and it went nowhere. And when Carolina did throw, Bryce played scared. After an early interception that got wiped out by a very questionable roughing the passer call, but he spent most of that game checking the ball down with 7 or 8 yards off the line of scrimmage. That can't happen again. Carolina has to throw early, and they still have to continue to be aggressive like we saw against the Los Angeles Rams. Even a couple successful downfield shots will force that Saints defense to back off and stop crowding the box. That's how you unlock your run game. That's how we were able to unlock that run game against the Rams. That's why you saw a nice bounce between Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard. But you don't do that by running into stacked fronts and praying something breaks. Let Bryce rip it a bit. If you don't trust him now, then what the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing at this point? Bryce Young, record in Superdome 2023, 28-6 loss. 13 for 36, 137 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. 2024, 47-10 loss. 13 for 30, 161 yards. So it's not good in the Superdome. Well, I don't know. No, that was the Falcons game. Never mind. I was thinking of something else. Never mind. I was thinking of something else. Appreciate that comment, Justin, though. That's some good that's some good analytics there, my friend. All right. My next key to this offense. Ride the hot hand in the backfield. Okay? All right. Here's the thing. Rico Dowdle got the bulk of the work in the first meeting against the Saints. That made sense at the time because the landscape changed. Dowdle has cooled off significantly after his explosive start. 3.2 yards per carry or fewer in the last three of the last 4 games. Meanwhile, you go to his counterpart in Chuba Hubbard. Oops. Meanwhile, you go back to his counterpart in Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard has been quietly more effective back lately, at least averaging around 4.7 yards per carry in all 4 of those games. Look noticeably more explosive against the Rams. Harder to bring down space. Here's the thing. Chuba barely touched the ball in the first Saints matchup, but when he finally got volume against the Rams, he looked like a better option. Now, again, that does not mean Dowdle should be benched. Okay? Both guys can contribute. Both guys should continue to contribute. But the Panthers cannot walk in with a predetermined workload split and then suddenly just stubbornly stick with it. Whoever is cooking gets fed. Point blank, period. No, there's no other discussion. I just Googled it. Trust me. Okay. What up, Panther Nation? Enjoy the content. Subscribe. Click the bell and the latest news and updates and analysts on the Carolina Panthers. Don't forget to show your love and support by pounding that like button on your way in. Appreciate you, Marcos. Appreciate you. All right. So I think another thing is against this. Here's another thing, chat. Again, you got to start fast and make the Superdome uncomfortable. Like, Saints don't have much to play for. Their fans don't have much patience either. If things go sideways early, that building can turn restless in a hurry. This team needs to score early. You got to put pressure on New Orleans, take the crowd out of the game, and as fast as Panthers start, could snowball quickly. A quiet Superdome is very beatable Superdome, right? So if you can quiet that Superdome down, and you score early and often, you're going to win that football game. All right, you're going to win that football game. No doubt about it. Guys, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Boom. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, if you're watching somewhere else like X or Twitch, come on over to the YouTube channel. That's the best way to show your love and support over here. But make sure you follow me on X and Twitch. Also, do me a favor. I'm going to open up the phone lines tonight. I'm going to open up the phone lines here shortly. I'm going to open up the phone lines after I go through the defensive preview. Okay. I'm going to give you a defense preview for the Panthers, what they need to do. Basically, it just gives you and if you know what I'm talking about when I say open the phone lines, I'm going to open up the stream. We'll see who comes in here. We might just make it an open panel, or I might make it like a radio show style where you come in, maybe drop your prediction, say a few things, drop your prediction, and then I get to the next person. Just depends. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. But again, also, if you could do me a favor, share the live. I would greatly appreciate it. It goes a long way. All right. It goes a long way. All right, chat. Whoops. Copy. Justin says, I wish I was more tech savvy. It ain't that hard, man. What's up, SC Panthers boy? What's up, man? Appreciate you coming through, my guy. We just went over the offense. Now we're about to go over the defense. All right. Create a post. Boom. Let's go view it. What's up, Luke? We number one. Yes, we are. All right. Let's go into this defensive preview. Let's go into this defensive preview. Hold on, chat. There you go. All right, so I want to say one thing about the New Orleans Saints that what they're good at. One thing that the New Orleans here's the issue from the first matchup. Okay, both Saints touchdowns in that first matchup, right? Both of those Saints touchdown drives in that Week 10 was fueled by long third down conversions. It was a 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 12. The exact situations where this Panthers defense normally thrives. Instead, they got torched. So on the Saints opening drive alone, I mean, Tyler Shook hit tight end Juwan Johnson, right, on 52 yards on a 3rd and 12, setting up a scoring drive. That play shouldn't happen, ever. Those are downs where defenses get off the field, not hand-free explosive plays. Carolina's defensive identity is built around winning early downs. They're forcing you to go 3rd and long, and you're locking down the sticks. Okay. So when the formula works, the defense looks legit. When it falls, especially on third down, it completely undermines everything else they're trying to do. Right? This team can absolutely flip the script, but only if they treat third down like it's a life or death situation. No blown coverages, no miscommunication. You cannot let Shook get comfortable when he should be under duress, right? That's another thing, man. Like, can our pass rush come alive? Like, if there was any time our pass rush needed to come alive, chat, it's this one. Okay? I want to pull up the Panthers defensive rankings right now. So based off of Fox, I want to go based off their third down situations. See, third down defense, the Carolina Panthers ranked 29th. This is just based off third down defense. Right here. Third down defense, Carolina ranks 29th. Defense third down rate, which I think is how much they're allowing, or how often they're allowing teams to get first downs after third down, if I'm not mistaken. See that 29%, 29th in the NFL, 44.2%. We've got to get better on stopping teams getting we got to be better at stopping teams getting first downs. What's up, Trizzy? Appreciate you coming through, my guy. But when the trench battle and control the run game, right? Statistically, Carolina actually did a solid job against the Saints rushing attack. If we go back and look at that first meeting, we only allowed like 3.3 yards per carry. So that does not tell the full story. New Orleans ran the ball 33 times between Alvin Kamara and Devin Neal and Taysom Hill. That commitment led them to be able to control the tempo of the game. It was able to keep Shook off of high-risk passing situations and avoid turnovers, right? So the Panthers are 17th in the NFL for rushing, for their rushing defense. They're allowing 118.7 yards per game, and they've allowed 16 rushing touchdowns, which it's improvement. I know that sounds crazy. It's improvement, but Shook only threw the ball 27 times, which is exactly what the Saints wanted against us the last time. So I expect a similar approach this week by the Saints. Okay. Because last Sunday's win over Tampa Bay, I think it was 30 plus rushing attempts to like 20 passing attempts. So to me, that is not a coincidence. That seems to be their identity right now. Kamara may be banged up and is also unavailable, which we know. But now Devin Neal, Taysom Hill, we're going to see some design runs for Tyler Shook, okay? That stuff we've got to watch out for. But Carolina's run defense has improved dramatically over the season. But this game could still turn into a trench war, especially if our offense struggles early again. Now, if this defense can shut down the run, force Shook into obvious passing situations, that advantage swings hard back towards us. Now, if not, the Saints will happily bleed the clock and shorten the game, right? But again, the good news is, chat. The other thing is I'm going to take away from this is that bye week came at a perfect damn time. Carol, you get guys back. You're getting Christian Roseboom back, Trevor Wallace back. They'll be back together in first time in weeks. Tre'von Mower is coming off that suspension, like we were talking about. On top of that, Lathan Rantham is coming off the best game of the season, filling in for Mower. That's the kind of depth that matters in this type of game, especially against an offense that wants to test the middle of the field. The only lingering question marks is Claudin Churlis, but I think he'll be fine. But you also have Christian Roseboom back. Jaycee Horn's been full participant all week. He should be available. I don't see where he won't be. But here's the uncomfortable truth. We actually held up just fine without Jaycee Horn, even if he was out against the Rams, which is crazy because Mike Jack stepped up in a massive way. Nick Scott and Derek Brown also stepped up in a massive way. And again, this secondary held it together. Now, we cannot allow a repeat of the big plays from the first Saints matchup. Plays that ironically came during one of, Horn's worst games of the season, slipping. Whether he plays, because again, I know there are some questions around Horn if he plays or not. But again, I do think he will. But communication, discipline in the secondary are non-negotiable in this game. Okay. This is a growth test again for this defense. This isn't, to me, this is a game that's not about talent. It's not about scheme. It's about execution, maturity, right? We know how the Saints want to attack us. We know how they burned us last time. They know the margin of error is thin. Now we have to find out if they actually learn something, right? So no busted coverages on 3rd and long, no free explosive plays. Don't let the Saints dictate the tempo. If our defense plays the same disciplined edge they showed against the Rams, they can absolutely put this team in a position to win. But if they repeat the same mistakes like last time, the playoff dreams takes a serious hit. And Sunday will tell us that. But offensively, man, I'm going to go back to that. This game's all about maturity, real quick. This game isn't about, again, same thing. It's not about talent. It's not about scheme. It's not about excuses. It's about this team having to grow the hell up, right? They've been here before, riding momentum, feeling good, talking about turning corners. They face planted every single time. If this group can truly show us differently, if they can learn, if they've actually learned something from that embarrassing loss, against the Saints last month, this is where they prove it, right? This is not it's no more about these vibe-based football game. No more playing scared, right? No more forcing what isn't there. Execute, adapt, punch back, all right? Plain and simple. Plain and simple, chat. So that is my preview. I'm going to open up the phone lines. I'll open the stream if people want to chime in. If you want to, it's up to you. If not, no big deal. I'm going to give my final predictions here shortly. Again, shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new content. All right. Make sure you share the live. David Newton wants to call in. I doubt that. Do I need to dial up for the opening phone lines? No, you don't, Justin. No, you don't have to. You don't need to open the phone. You don't need to dial up. It's just a stream, man. It's all good if nobody wants to come up. It's a small stream tonight. It seems to be on Fridays that everybody wants to go live. Because I'm not the only Panthers content creator that's live right now. Anyways, I am going to get my final prediction. And I'm going to tell you why. Real quick. I think that the Carolina Panthers will win this game. I think it's going to be like 24-17. Again, this game feels way too important for the Panthers to let slip, right? the matchup, the momentum, that were really the circumstances at this point, right? Here's the thing. The reason why I think we win this game is because first off, health matters. The that we are close to full strength that we've been all season. Getting Jaycee Horn back changes the entire complexity of this defense. His absence wasn't fatal against the Rams, but his presence against New Orleans is huge, especially after the Saints burned Carolina in chunk plays the first time around. So with Horn, Morig, Roseboom, Wallace all available, the Panthers can actually play disciplined coverage to stop handing out third and long explosive plays. Secondly, the reason why I think that we'll win this game, and I'll get Roy in here in a minute. The reason why I think the Panthers learned a lesson from the first matchup, the Saints sold out to stop the run in Charlotte and dared Bryce Young to beat them. Since then, Bryce has been far more confident, I think, pushing the ball down the field, and Dave Canales has shown he's willing to loosen the reins when the defenses overcommit. So, we don't need a shootout. We just need a nice balance that, like we saw against the Rams. I think some early play action shots force the Saints to back off. And once that happens, Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle can grind out yardage and control tempo. Third, the Saints offense has a very real ceiling because Tyler Shook has been tough and competitive, but again, he is still a rookie who benefits heavily from a game script, right? That Kellen Moore is putting together for him. So if our defense shuts down those early runs, forces him into obvious pass situations, the advantage swings are hard back to us. This offense thrives when it can, and it pins its ears back and makes the quarterbacks uncomfortable, right? But finally, the stakes are different. Again, the Saints are already out of the playoff picture. We're fighting for the NFC South, the first postseason burst since 2017. Right? This is when football matters the most, in December. So we've got hopefully preparation has been good. Hopefully we see the effort on the field and we see the execution. Again, I think this Saints team will make it annoying. They always do. That's what these NFC South matchups always bring. Panthers, this team, if they play clean football, they avoid those self-inflicted mistakes, right? Don't get cute. That, the more complete team right now, in my opinion, right? I think we're the more complete team. I think we get revenge. I think we control the pace. We walk out of the Superdome with a win, and that keeps that playoff push very much alive. But I'm going to go 24-17 us. All right, Roy, I got you up here, man. I appreciate you coming through. What you got?
Sure. I just wanted to say I was really worried, like last night when it was 28-14, you said, I'm quitting. I thought you really were. But I think everybody's given up on the team. I mean, it's, you've got to stick to the end. And I heard Brant Tillis today say that the first thing he looks for is the vibe. And he really feels like they've got a good vibe. It's going to be, nobody, it's not the end of the world if you don't win, because they know they're building for the future. And so I really feel like that our quarterback is in a good place this time. So I think we'll be okay.
I like it. I mean, I like where Brant Tillis's head is at. I like what he said today. I did listen to some of it. I just think that, I think we're all in a good place. I mean, we're all in a good place, and I hear you. You don't, if we don't win, we're in a good position either way for the future.
We weren't expecting to be here.
Yeah. No one expected us to be here, right? So I like it, but I think it's just like we now want more, right?
Yeah.
Again, everybody wants more. You get greedy. Everybody gets good. Everybody deserves to. I mean, I think Carolina Panthers fans and myself would all agree that we deserve more, especially since we haven't had this type of a season or this close since Steve Wilkes. But then again, that wasn't the best season we've had, in the
Been
world
a long
either.
time.
Yeah,
My name's on the building. I'm early PSL owner, so
right.
it's we don't have anything to lose, and so that's going to take a lot of burden off of.
I think, I hear what you're coming from, because we really don't have anything to lose because we weren't expected to be here, right?
Yeah.
But you want to win, and you want to make the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
And
I'm just glad you kept the live stream going last night, because I would have been sick having to try to find another place to listen.
Oh, I mean, I hear you. Yeah, I haven't done that in a Thursday night game in a while, because Carolina never.
You were ready to go.
Well, it was 28-14, and I was just like, this is starting to look ugly, because it looked like Tampa Bay was about to take away, run away with the game. I was watching, I was like, and again, 19 penalties, 125 yards, for the Falcons. I was just like, there's no way they're going to come back and win this game. Not the way that this team keeps continuing to shoot itself in the foot. But again, you got to give kudos to that game last night. You have to give kudos to, I think who you have to give kudos to the most is Kirk Cousins, because the way he was able to stay in the pocket, and step up in the pocket, and he was taking hits all night. I mean, the announcers were like giving him credit, because
he deserved it.
He came off the Achilles. He's coming off the Achilles, and then he sat there and stayed in the pocket and made the throws. Yeah, he missed a couple that here and there in the game, but for him to really step up and make some play, I mean, that Sills catch, the diving catch that he made over to the sideline to keep that drive alive for them to go down there and make the game-winning field goal, that was the biggest play of the game.
He was auditioning for the Colts.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see if the 44-year-old man in Phillip Rivers, the semifinalist Hall of Famer.
Yeah. We'll see. Too bad that wasn't Cam.
Yeah.
I think Cam could still do it, because I remember when he came back the second time. He looked good.
Well, if you go watch his show on YouTube, it's called 4th and 1. He actually talked about that. It's funny that you brought that up, because I was watching it not too long ago, and he was basically like, "Why, Colts? Why didn't you call me?" So he's like, "Because I've never announced that I'm fully retired." So, but yeah, he might still be able to do it. Who knows? I think in his heart, I think in his mind, he feels that he can play, but I think something in Cam just says, in my heart, knows that maybe it's over. Who knows? He had an interesting conversation with, I think it was he has this show where he sits down with celebrities or whatever and interviews them. But I think he had his mom on there, and they were kind of talking about it, and it was something that he said along those lines. So it's interesting. It's interesting where these guys' mindsets are after they're out the game. You know what I mean? So, well, Roy, I appreciate you joining, man. I'm gonna get some other people in here. I got Luke back here. I appreciate you joining, and I appreciate you coming through and showing your love and support.
Enjoy everything, Clay.
All right, thank you, Roy. That was Roy, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Roy. Appreciate him coming through. Let's see. We got Luke in here. What's up, Luke?
Hey, Clay.
What's up, man? How are you?
I got the Panthers in this one, 27-17.
And why is that?
I just think that we're going to want to win because, we just took first place. They're going to have a lot of momentum after beating, honestly, one of the best teams in the NFL, I still think, the LA Rams. And I just think they're going to come out hitting after the bye week. Got some fresh legs. Horn's going to be back. Rosen's going to be back. I think they're going to get the win.
Nice. I like that, Luke. I like that. I like your mindset. I truly believe the same thing. That's basically what I said in my final prediction. I said 24-17. But yeah, again, this is a revenge game for us too, right? You know what I mean? It's a revenge game.
I do want to ask you something.
Go ahead.
If they clinch the division after the Bucs game, would you pull the starters the last 2 games of the season? I wouldn't, in my opinion.
I would think about it. I'd have. That's a great question, Luke. I think that, in my opinion, does it make sense? Yes, because you wanted to not have the injuries, right? But part of you also doesn't want to, because there might still be a chance that Tampa Bay could still steal it. Because there's always multitude of ways, right? But again, Tampa Bay would have to rely on other teams to even make it in. But what if I knew for sure, like let's say we clinched the division and I knew that there was no other ways that Tampa can make it in, I think so. I think I can't really answer that question until after this game and after what we see against the Bucks at home. And then I think I could answer that question better for you. But it's a great question, and I'll keep that in mind.
The reason I think we wouldn't mention the starters is because look what happened in the preseason and we came out flat in week 1.
You sound like me. You sound like me. I was preaching that a lot on my channel, and you actually, that was another thing that I didn't even mention. I was thinking it, didn't say it, but yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. Actually, that's a good point, because again, we saw it in week 1. I was preaching it last year. I said that if they don't, Bryce only playing 1 game was not good, and then of course, and then they did the whole same thing we saw this season. That he played more than 1 preseason game, but he definitely, after the performance he had in Houston, definitely should have played the last one. So, but you're definitely correct. Luke, I appreciate you coming through, man. Appreciate you joining the live stream. I'm going to get some more people in here. I appreciate you coming through, man. Have a good night.
You too.
Justin, my guy, what's up?
What's going on, man?
How are you?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm good. What's on your mind?
Well, my thought is with the Saints showing 2 different kind of offenses recently, how do we feel about, Shuck's ability to run outside the pocket? And
Yeah,
you feel like the Panthers are going to be able to stop that? And seeing as he was throwing more, and then he ran a little more, what do you think we're going to see with our defense?
I think that New Orleans is better than the record shows. I've kind of been saying that as of late. I think Tyler Shook has the offensive functioning well enough to really stay competitive. The defense, somewhat shockingly, has been legitimately solid. But again, that's why I said you cannot take this game lightly, because after you saw 55 yards rushing, a lot of QB design runs with Tyler Shook last week. Devin Neal was getting the load of the carries. He even had a touchdown in that game. I think for our defensively, you've got to, the biggest thing is you got to stop the run. I mean, you got to force the ball into Tyler Shook. Basically, what the mindset that the Saints had against us in week 10, whereas stack the box, right? And force Bryce to beat them with their arm. Do the same thing with Shuck, right? Stack the box, stop Devin Neal, and you do that. You let your linebackers work the outside for Shook on these QB outside runs, because that's what they're going to be, or these read option plays that you see, and force him to beat you with his arm. I know that he beat us with his arm last time because he looked like prime Joe Montana in week 10. But the 2 touchdowns that he did have, we have to remember Jaycee Horn slipped and fell both times. But we also gave up some big plays on 3rd down that basically allowed those plays to happen before, right? We gave up a big 3rd and 8, like I mentioned earlier. Then we gave up a big that led to that first touchdown. Then we gave up a big 3rd and 12, which led to the second touchdown, right? So that's why I said, when I was talking about defense, the defense earlier, again, you're gonna have to win the trench battle and control the run game and really force the ball in Tyler Shook's hands. But again, the last we allowed the Saints to get these big third and long games, and we have to slow that down. So, when they're but this again, our identity as a defense is we win the early downs and we force the third and long, right? Um, that's when our defense looks legit. That's why we're seeing a lot more defensive turnovers. That's why you're seeing Derek Brown bat balls. That's why you're seeing Derek Brown get strip sacks. That's why you're also seeing Jaycee Horn get picks and Mike Jack get picks because of that formula. So I think in this case, though, with these QB runs or these QB design runs, yeah, just like Trizzy asked in the chat, like, would you prefer a QB spy? You could throw that out there with Roseman probably would be the best QB spy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably also going to see Mo Rig blitz more in this game because of that, right? I mean, when Mo Rig blitzes that, and they have those disguised blitzes, he gets through there and he's either put pressure on the quarterback or he's made the quarterback pay. So you're probably going to see some of that as well. You're going to see some design safety blitzes with Mo Rig as well.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Derek Brown, number one, underrated. He's underrated across the league, which, in our stance kind of helps us stay the underdog.
Well, I think he's the best defensive tackle in the league, but a lot of people would disagree with me.
I mean, I agree with you there. I mean, but, not having pressure on the QB is my concern. If we get some pressure on him, I think it's over.
Yeah, I mean, this is where Nick Scorton and these guys have got to start stepping up. I mean, I know Pat Jones is out. I mean, we haven't seen anything we weren't seeing much from him, but I've been asking myself this, Justin, it's like, where's DJ Wandham from last year? The guy that came off this injury in week 10 and then he was on the verge of having almost a sack every game.
Luckily, he was in the right spot at the right time the last game.
Right. Yeah, and he was I mean, luckily enough, yes. I mean, fair point. But you know what I mean? It's just like, where's this pass rush? Because again, I asked this question last week to you guys, and it's like these next 4 games are so important, right? But one of my questions for these next 4 games were, can this pass rush finally start, showing up? Right. That was my 4 question. That was one of them. Yeah. It was like, can this pass rush show up? Because again, right now it's ugly because again, we are 31st in the NFL in sacks. We rank 18th in the NFL. So, Derek Brown's got 4 sacks. Nick Scorton's got 3. Ashawn's got 2.5, and everyone else has got 2 or fewer. Like, you're not going to scare a damn soul if you can't get to the quarterback. And without a pass rush, nothing else really matters to your defense, right? You can't
if they're doubling up on Brown, then why are we struggling?
Right. That's the thing. I don't think we just don't have. The problem is with our pass rushes, we just don't have that true playmaker, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I think Nick Scorton can be that. But again, he's a rookie, and I think it's just going to take him time to adapt and get there. Again, the kid has gotten home multiple times. He just hasn't finished, right? Like he's got. It's just like you go out to the bar, you get the girl, you take her home, but then guess what? You didn't close. You know what I mean?
Been there a lot.
That's where he's at. You know what I mean? She's sleeping on the couch. He's in the bedroom. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
which goes back to another point. We are one of the younger teams in the NFL, and we are facing the Bucs, who are on their way out as far as veterans. This is probably it for a lot of those guys.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe not this year, but within a year or two, these guys are fading out.
Mm-hmm. Well, DJ Wandham and guys like Pat Jones would, yeah.
I mean, with the Bucs, you've got Baker, you've got Evans.
Yeah.
As far as the division goes, our biggest enemy really has been the Bay. So, because they're clinching the division.
Right. No, I hear you. The thing is, it's just like this Bucks team, though. It's crazy because they're getting healthy. That's the crazy part. With the Bucks team, they're getting healthy. You know what I mean? It's like you got Mike Evans back. You could tell he was blatantly back. Last night. And I'm just surprised by this Bucks team because, again, am I surprised by this Bucks team that they're where they're at? No, because we've been seeing the ups and downs all season with them. But again, it's also the fact that they're also getting healthy at the right time. And it was just like, you've got your best wide receiver back. You got Chris Godwin back. You still have a Mecca Buka on the field. You got B. Irving. You got Rachaad White. You've got your whole offense back. But Jet, you couldn't put up more than 28 points on the Atlanta Falcons. And the team
we beat twice.
That we beat twice. And then on top of that, the team had 19 penalties for 125 yards and still won the game. And we're down.
One of those was declined, I believe, right?
I don't know. But the crazy part is, man, too, on that is they were down by 14 points and came back and won that game.
Exactly.
That's the whole crazy part. It's like, I was just like, and listen, when it was 28-14 last night, I was like, man,
ready for bed.
I'm going to bed. Yeah. Like I got to be up at 5:30 tomorrow morning, which I definitely did not get up at 5:30 this morning. But anyway, I still made it on time to work. But again, yeah. It's just crazy, Justin. It's just crazy. Justin, by the way, I got to message you back. I'm talking. I got to message you back. We'll be talking outside of this.
It's waiting for you, bud.
I appreciate you.
Know.
All right, I appreciate
you. If not, somebody else is going to get it.
Okay. All right, I'll let you know, buddy. I appreciate you, though.
Yes, sir.
All right, take care, buddy.
Later.
Shout out to Justin for coming through. Shout out to Luke. Shout out to Roy coming through. Shout out to all those guys that came through and joined the show. I appreciate you guys. We're going to definitely have to start doing some more of these open, I like doing the radio part, but maybe one of these days we'll kind of do something like an open mic night, where people could come in and just really talk among themselves, talk with me, talk with other Carolina Panthers fans, really have a nice community conversation here on the channel. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream, and I appreciate y'all. I've got some more content coming out to you guys. I'm going to be working on some shorts, so make sure you tune into that. Other than that, guys, I appreciate you. As always, make sure you pound that like button. It goes a long way. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new content. Other than that, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I am going to get some content done for you guys tonight, and I'll get it out to you here soon. So shout out to everybody in the chat. As always, y'all know what to do. Keep pounding. I'm out. Peace.